Just trying to pub you up. I know, hanging out together. That's right.
Well, how do you feel today versus where you were 1 week ago, Mike?
Well, we feel a little better. We got a long way to go, but it's a starting point. Thought our players really, invested in the week and in the preparation, and really happy for those guys to go out and play well throughout the course of a game. And now we just have to be able to sustain the momentum we gained Saturday. So you want to go out and put some things back to back together, play some complete games, and continue the momentum as we enter the back end of the schedule.
How did that some of the new stuff you run out there, how did that look the other day?
Again, everything, there are no magical calls. Everyone, it's the attitude and the effort. We had one play. We had 10 guys around the ball. I mean, that's the difference. Everyone, on 1 minute you're smart, 1 minute you're not so smart. It all plays together. You try to put the players in the best position, try to make the best calls, but it's up to them. They got to go out and execute. And I thought our execution, our plan, we were able to execute what we wanted to, and that'll be the case again Thursday night. It gets down to execution, preparation, and all those were positives a week ago. This is, we really got to, double up, losing 2 days of preparation. So this is going to be it's going to be a tough week, but we've had 2 pretty good days.
I know when you're struggling on defense, you're looking for any kind of a spark you can get. How big of a spark is it when a team captain, a guy like Jordan Evans, makes that pick six play?
Well, we need our big players to play big, and if that's Jordan Thomas, it's Jordan Evans, it's Obo, it's Stephen Parker, and when our big dogs play good, we got a better chance of playing well, and that's we've just been way too inconsistent across the board to have any consistency in our defense, and when those guys, we need those guys to play well. They're our leaders. And they need to be our playmakers as well. So really pleased with the way Jordan played. I thought Steven played well. I thought JT made some great plays, and that's really what our defense needs to have success. And we just haven't had a consistent diet of that throughout the course of the year, and just too many easy plays, getting over our heads.
Are you concerned that this is like their bowl game? This is a Thursday night game up there, and your bunch hasn't always played, particularly out Tech, with the energy you wanted. Are you concerned about any of that?
Well, again, we just have to go back a week ago. We can't forget about what happened the last time we were on the road, and hopefully our players think about that on the way up and play with a lot of energy. And we hope the crowd is in the game. That'll give us, hopefully some energy, and we expect them to play well again, but it's not about them. It's about our execution. It's about our team being able to do the things we need to do to win the game, and that's really all we're concentrated on. We don't really worry about the opponent's plays and try to prepare our players the best we can, but it gets down to execution and playing with the same. I just want to see our players compete, play with that that pride and determination that you need to have to play great defense, and that can't come and go. That has to be a consistent, and that's where I think we've fallen short. We just haven't had the consistent effort and preparation that we need, and certainly coaching them that's part of our jobs, to get them to play hard and to understand why it's important to play hard.
Mike, but you have to count on
about just the way the defense has persevered through all the injuries and adapting to that next man up mentality.
Again, I'm just proud of the guys that are here and guys that have fought through it. Again, injuries are part of the game, but we've never, it doesn't matter. We're down quite a few guys, but again, I'm just proud of the guys that are here. We don't really worry about the players that aren't. For whatever reason, that's the way it is, and I'm just I'm pleased with the way our guys that have been consistently here have really accepted their roles, have played more snaps, and we've held our own, especially on the D line where we've lost so many people.
What are your chances of getting Charles Walker back at some point?
I don't get involved in that. You have to ask him or Bob. I really don't know.
What about Obo?
Obo's practiced all week, and he's ready to go, and we need him on the field. He's one of our consistent playmakers, and we look for him to have a big game Thursday night.
Mike, how did your young outside linebackers play against Kansas?
I thought they played well. I think that was the Ricky played well. I thought Caleb played well, and thought Capri did some good things. Got nicked up a little bit, but pleased with their overall play and development. I think Caleb's really coming on, and Ricky showed some things that he can be a very consistent player for us, and still have to look at what we're asking him to do and make sure it's the most productive position for him, because he's got some skills.
Mike, does it put more on Caleb and Ricky with Capri have to sit out the first half because of the targeting?
Not we can't afford probably a guy to go down. Earlier we'd have to move Will Johnson in there, but we'd like to use Caleb and Capri at that that one outside position, and then we have Ricky and Obo at the other one. So we feel like we have decent depth there.
What is Iowa State's offense? I guess they've got a couple of quarterbacks. What do they present?
Well, I think they're just when you look at them, they're very multiple. They give you a lot of different looks. They got some quarterback run game. They spread the ball out. They have a tremendous receiver that can really, go up and make plays. I thought he made some great plays to keep him in the game, last week against Kansas State. And their two quarterbacks, both are very multiple. They both run and they throw it. So they keep moving a little bit. The younger 10 has come in and really done some good things, threw for over 300 yards the other night against Kansas State. So, they're going to move it around and continue to do what they do, spread, play action passes, try to get, 5 involved in as much as they can.
What's the biggest reason they haven't been able to close out games? Because they've played a lot of tight ones.
Oh, it's, that's just part of the process. I believe as you try to change a culture, and being there at Arizona, I think you try to shrink the competitive advantages and different disadvantages, and then you shrink it, and then all of a sudden you have an upset. And that's how it works. And we just got to make sure it's not us Thursday night, and make sure we're prepared to go in and do the things necessary to win.
What's your biggest challenge with this being a shortened week like this?
Just getting all the looks in, all the preparation offensively. They do a lot of different things, and they got a lot of movement in their offense. So just making sure our defense is positioned where it needs to be.
Upset you guys got a little in last week on Iowa State.
A little bit. We've tried to. We knew this would be a short week, but we feel like we have enough time to be adequately prepared to play. They have the same dilemma we do. So it's not an advantage for either team, but
Do you slim the playbook or whatever, slim the game plan down because of the shorter week? Don't try to cram as much into the learning sessions?
not really. I haven't noticed that. We'll go in with this pretty similar package to what we do every week, a certain amount of, run plays, run defenses, pass blitzes, pressures, so it'll balance out, pretty similarly to what we have in the past, in each game.
How much can you really take away from your performance against Kansas, given that it wasn't a team like Tech or Baylor or West Virginia?
Oh, I don't, they're all different. Each week takes on a really game of its own. They're all different. Where they fall, who you come, it's just different. So we don't put too much stock in it either way. We went out and did what we wanted to do. I don't know what you want me to say. We're going to go out and try to do the same thing this week, and whether you want to give them credit or not, that's okay. We just kind of go out and play and try the best we can.
Well, you were talking about them being embarrassed after Tech. Does
Right.
that go away until you?
No,
guys
I don't.
saw
I don't
Baylor?
think one. I don't think anyone's beating their chest down right now. We know we got a long way to go, and it's a start in the right direction, and that's all we're trying to build off of it. From a week ago, it's really irrelevant who you play. It's still about going out and executing a call, a defense, and playing a certain way, playing with an edge, playing with some attitude, play with some pride and enthusiasm. That's what football and defense is. You overcome so much when you play that way. If you don't play that way, there's nothing that works. And that's what happened 2 weeks ago. There wasn't anything that was good. And I still believe it gets down to, the way you play, the execution of it, the enthusiasm, the excitement. And that's what defense is. And that's what we have to have to play well. We're not good enough not to. We just don't have those type of players. We have to be on edge, and we have to play a certain way. And being on edge to be able to play the way we want to and the way we expect to, here at Oklahoma.
Did you guys do something to bring back that enthusiasm or excitement?
Sometimes embarrassment, is the best form. I think we were all embarrassed. We talked about it. Let's let it go. It is what it is. We got embarrassed, and our players, got a lot of pride, and I'm glad they, showed up and started to work our way back.
Mike, the first two guys I thought of after that night were your captains, Jordan Evans and Ahmad Thomas. How much you lean on those guys a little heavier since then to sort of rally the rest of the bunch, the less experienced guys?
Well, we don't have a ton of experience, but the five guys we got, whether it's Jordan Thomas, Ahmad, whether it's Stephen Parker, whether it's Jordan Evans, those guys have to play well for us. They have to make plays and be playmakers and be consistent players and lead and show these guys how to do it. So I was happy for those guys. I thought they all had exceptional games. Thought Stephen Parker played, really was locked in, and Jordan, you could just see the different. Again, it doesn't matter who you play. You could tell by the way they play. That's all that's important to me. It's the way you play and the way you present yourself. Who you play is irrelevant. There's a way the game is supposed to be played. There's an attitude that it has to be played with. Mm-hmm. And we're starting. That was a good start, and we got to carry it on. Hopefully Thursday.
I just wonder if a captaincy means more when times get tough.
You hope so. Those are guys that have to show leadership, and that's been it's been we don't have the same type of leaders we did a year ago. Right. That's just not as vocal. That's just not. You can't make someone be a certain way. That's just it's just different leadership. So
we always hold the coaches accountable. How much do players need to hold themselves accountable for things, or how much do they hold each other accountable?
Well, I think when you have good teams, that's what they do. They hold each other accountable. That's what great teams do, and it's it comes from the coaches and players. I think it all works. It all works together.
In seeing DeBerry and Kelly play beside each other Saturday, do you feel like you're kind of getting a look at the future of your linebacking group?
Well, I think we started. I want to say 4 or 5 freshmen, which was, it's interesting to see. Neville, Ricky, Obo, Jordan Parker, and Caleb Kelly. So I guess was there 4? Is that 4 or 5? I can't count very well, but and then Emmanuel, a guy that's only been here 3 months. To be able to do those things, that shows some progress in a positive way. And all these guys, I think, are guys that we need to continually develop. I think they could all be great players in time. So it's it gives us a little bit of a start to where we're going, and losing Armani for the period of time is, sets us back because he has he had a great he's a great start to his freshman year too. So, but that's a big thing, is developing your young players. If you want to be good and develop depth, you have to.
Are you expecting to see Imani at all the rest of the year? Or?
Oh, I don't know how that thing, I have to ask. I'm not really involved. I just know he's not playing this week, and, we'll see, how it works its way out.
Now that you've been back on the practice field, do you see the benefits of having that system where you're rotating in different packages and keeping guys a little bit fresher on their short week?
Yeah, we just wanted to get some looks at things, and some things were good, some weren't so good the last couple of weeks. We just got to find ways to try to, utilize specific players, and because we
Anybody
are.
that stand out to you that hadn't been playing a lot in those packages that you really
Oh,
appreciated their play?
it's hard to say. We played Khalil, played Will, played some young DBs, giving them a little bit of a chance. All did okay. No one stood out either way. I thought Curtis was okay. I mean, nothing was great. I didn't. Just thought we were kind of small in there. Wasn't crazy about the look, but
You had Curtis in your down line.
yeah. And we got to keep Austin Roberts out on the edge. He's the most effective down there. I don't like being that small, but our numbers are just getting thin.
Don't really have a choice sometimes.
No, unfortunately not.
Mike,
Thanks,
thanks,
Mike.
man.
Okay.